I just like to beatbox with my mouth sometimes. Well, all right, we are live. And realistically, today, we're both Weird Gaming Adventure, but I'm Gospel. And this is Joshua.
I'm Joshua. Welcome back. If it's the first time joining us. And yes, I am Joshua, and that is Gospel of, as you mentioned, Weird Gaming Adventure. What's up, Gospel of Weird Gaming Adventure? How you doing?
I'm doing well, dude. It feels good to be on the Weird Gaming Adventure content team. It's been fun so far. So, yeah, I'm chilling. It feels like I've got a guild tag in real life.
That's right. It's weird.
Yeah, like I was at church yesterday and someone said, "Why do you have WGA above your head?" And I said, "I joined a new guild."
They're like, son, if that's not a Halo, take it off.
What kind of guild is that? Is that a Christian guild?
Yeah, so
Easy. No, you're off by about 45 pounds. No, I'm just kidding. You're off by about 40 pounds at the moment. Up. It's up. Yeah, yeah, the only reason it's up though is so I guess I don't know. I started working out and I was like, I've told you I started working out and it was like I just started gaining weight while working out. I don't know what's up with that. I think it's weightlifting or something. Yeah. Weightlifting. True. Yeah.
Was
I made a huge mistake. I made a huge mistake. Your part of the first part of the video is like I accidentally had it muted. I made a huge mistake. All right. Well, you're not muted anymore.
Well, hello everybody.
you.
I said a whole bunch of gibberish. Like I'll be going like this. Yeah, a calculated mistake.
I am so sorry. This is really like the beginning of the video because it's just otherwise just me talking to myself. Thank you, AMK.
You know
Oh my gosh. Imagine if AMK didn't come in chat and tell us that Weird is quiet. I would have just kept talking and it would have been a one-sided conversation. You could just kind of guess what I was saying.
That would be so good in life if you could just like mute someone. My wife would be like, mute, that's good. Yeah, that's great. Now let's have sex.
Yeah.
So, as we were saying, we were talking about Restoration 3. We've put out a few videos so far this week, so let's talk a little bit about Restoration 3. What's going on so far this week in Restoration 3? Gospel, do you know?
A lot of test server activity. I've been meaning to get on the test center and actually try it. I think Halo messaged me saying he was going to change the way CM dots work. Currently, the way it is on live is that CM dots are affected by NGE stuff. So armor has a chance to absorb, which is resist. Whereas in the CU, the only time you could absorb is if you took like food for it or maybe had some tapes. And then resist was like a thing that did happen in live, but the way resist is working right now is that it just it'll just resist the dots tick, like a single tick, which makes it really weak. The way it worked on live is that it would resist the initial application. So from my understanding, he was going to test that, and I haven't gotten the chance to test that on Test Center. And also I wanted to try out Witches of Dathomir and maybe make a video about it. But I haven't actually had the opportunity quite yet. It's been a busy week.
Well, maybe somebody in the chat would know how that works. We have Forelli.
Yeah.
In our chat of Emu.
Yes.
Developer. I guess we'll call it Fame.
Yeah, Fame.
We'll call it Fame. We need to have Forelli on the show. I know we've been interacting with him a little bit on the Reddit. I tell you what, the Reddit is either real good or real bad. We discussed this in past shows. They love you or they hate you.
Yeah,
and it's been some really good dialogue back and forth on one of the videos that you had mentioned about the state of or that we had come up with on the state of Star Wars Galaxies Emu, Basilisk, and some of the problems that a few of the devs have been going through. Death threats.
Yeah, I totally believe. Like in my video, I didn't want to give anybody the impression that that I wasn't taking the death threats seriously. I think maybe someone did, because I did end up getting someone harassing me over Discord about it. They're like, "How dare you make that video? You know what you're doing, blah blah blah." And it's not like I am not cheering for the death of the emulation. I'm not saying it's even dying necessarily. I'm just saying I'm not having any ill intentions towards the emulator. That is something I want to make very clear, is that I don't have any animosity between me and any of the devs staff or anything. I've always had a really good relationship with Forelli and Skirby, and so I only really recently talked to Lord Cater, because he actually messaged me about the video. And they were saying they were down, like considering doing like a fireside chat, so maybe on the show. But Forelli has a really early bedtime, because he says he's got to wake up at 3 a.m. So I'm not sure. Yeah.
Poor dude.
Yeah. So
holy moly.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if he was down to do an episode like Thursday nights, but I did message him and he said it would be something like the weekends or something would work better for him. So maybe we can have a special weekend episode.
Well, yeah, we can accommodate. And also, just to maybe take you off the hook, that title and that thumbnail, I made. So I emphasized the death threats, and that was kind of my opinion, and I kind of threw in there like that the server is struggling, and it is. The server it is struggling. So wasn't Gospel's fault. Gospel had a great video and great take, if you will. So struggling a little bit. Restoration 3. Like I said, if you have an emulator, like these people are not being paid to work on these. And so, for instance, like Restoration 3, are you going to tell them that they have to get to work all of the time and get stuff done? That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we get so much hate when it comes to like, hey, we're not yelling at the devs and everything. We should use our platform to put some fire to their feet. Well, we actually appreciate what they're doing.
Yeah.
So we're playing a free game. We're not, they're not paying or charging us to play this. So.
Yeah, I could understand if they were getting paid to do it, right? Like an indie dev team or something. But they're just the reality is, like, I try to think about how many things I could do, in my spare time, and it's not as much as I could do if it was my job. You know what I mean? So, hey, AMK, thank you for this Prime with sub. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you, dude. Yeah. So I really don't. I don't get that whole mentality. I do understand the frustrations of slow development. I definitely get that, and I'm not saying that isn't like a valid criticism or feeling. But yeah, it is a night and day difference when you're doing something for profit and when you're doing something as essentially volunteer work.
I appreciate what people do, what that they're putting it in. It's a passion project. Gospel and I, like, we do this because we like it. I mean, if we're getting paid, it's not a lot. You know what I mean? And so we understand. I play Basilisk, I play Legends, and I play R3, and I always will as long as they're up. So,
Yeah.
anyways, yeah. Backdrop is dope. Thank you. I really need to finish that up and turn the lights on in here for one show.
Yeah, that'd actually be really dope. Just having that on. But yeah, speaking of volunteer and profit projects, I've been playing Conquest of Azeroth, which is nuts. It is a pretty crazy game, but it's done by the Project Ascension guys that are like World of Warcraft focused. And they made a classic WoW server that was basically classless, and you could pick whatever abilities and whatever talents you wanted for your character. Then they added this really intense system called the random enchant system, where basically you'll loot pieces of gear and sometimes they'll have an enchant on it, and that enchant can drastically change the way your class plays or your character plays. And so you can build entire classes or entire builds around certain enchants, and it's pretty neat. But this new project, I almost said profit. This new project they've been working on is called Conquest of Azeroth, where they make like 21 new classes, all with unique mechanics, and with the goal to never have those mechanics feel like the original WoW classes. And so with that, it's been like really dope. I've been like I've been really enjoying it. It's like brand new mechanics, brand new abilities. It's just really fun.
Yeah, I mean, you have been prolific. You've been dropping content on that like crazy, and together, you making these videos for Weird Gaming Adventures put us at the top of the developer chain for that, and I thank you for that. If you guys haven't had an opportunity, go check out all the hard work that he's been doing over at Weird Gaming Adventure.
Yeah, I should actually update my YouTube link to just link to WGA, but I could actually do that. AMK says, just got done playing Demon Hunter as well. It's pretty neat. Yeah, so that's one of the things they had was Demon Hunter, and I looked at it myself, and I don't remember all the abilities, but I did play Demon Hunter in Legion, and I did play it in BFA, and I noticed that the Demon Hunter of Conquest of Azeroth of COA is completely different from like Legion and BFA, like retail WoW. Yeah, super mobile. They get a 10 meter.
What does that mean, the super mobile? Okay,
yeah, they get a 10-meter charge every few seconds, and you can spam it actually 3 times. Yeah.
Oh, see, that is why I love Warrior. I love that charge. Like, historically, that was been my. I never liked a tank. I'm a pretty good tank, but I love just kicking the crap out of people and closing the distance. So if you're telling me that you can 10-meter charge every few seconds, forget about it.
Dude, that Rune Weaver class I was playing has like, I'm not even kidding, I think it's like 5 different teleports. It's like nuts. Like, I was looking through its skill tree and they're like, oh yeah, move here, do this. Like, you just teleport. Like, you don't even have to walk anymore. You just press buttons to walk. Well, I guess you press buttons to walk, but if you press abilities to move, it was just so wild, that Rune Master class. And then they do have interesting movement mechanics. Like, for example, Reaper has a stealth that you're slowed by 70% while in stealth, but every 1.5 seconds you move forward 8 meters. You teleport forward 8 meters. So instead of just like regular walking, you're just going.
So just basic travel, not in combat?
Yeah, that's stealth. That's their stealth mechanic.
Oh man.
which I
Okay.
thought was pretty cool because it's like, if someone walks near you and they detect you, how like you can just see like people like a see-through version of them, and then like if you just give it a second, they'll just disappear because they'll be out of range, and you have to kind of figure out which way they're facing to follow them because it's every 1.5 seconds.
That's going to be interesting in PvP playing against them.
Yeah.
And so you'd be rubbernecking left and right, literally. And we're talking about, the difference between non-profits and for-profit server. And this is definitely a for-profit server.
Yes.
So do us all a favor, because I play a lot of MMOs, and I have played. I'm a little embarrassed that I was not aware of for-profit servers. How can they do that?
Basically, they get a European country that has very lax internet laws and copyright laws and all that good stuff, and that's where they host the server. I don't know what country this server is hosted in. It's just somewhere in Europe. My ping is like 120-ish, 150-ish, something like that.
Right.
So yeah, I've got higher ping than as if I was living over in Europe, but it's really not noticeable for me. And so
we're talking like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So we're talking about like pirate radio stuff. Like they're hanging out, some pirates on the ocean, like in locations to where they can just do whatever the heck they want, hosting everything from a sub. Like, come get me, give me your cash too. That's awesome.
Yep. In fact, I remember when I first downloaded it with my old internet provider. I haven't had anything with this new one yet. My old ISP, I got a letter when I downloaded the client. We detected you downloaded World of Warcraft illegally. Everyone can download. And it was funny. Spectrum, no, it was Comcast. But it was funny because they just I uninstalled the game, then I downloaded it again and got another letter just to show I don't care. Okay. That's not that great.
Yeah,
but
they're definitely actively searching for you and me, I guess, because I'm gonna have to get involved in it a little bit just so I know what you and everybody else is talking about.
Yeah.
So okay, well that's cool. So we can definitely talk crap about them though if we don't like it, because they are literally getting paid for this, and they're getting paid well.
They are. It's like $50 just to get an alpha.
Right.
They've got a pretty large cash shop, which is mostly cosmetic. Some of it is pay for convenience. Like, for example, there's this Book of Ascension you can buy. I think it's like, well, they've got a double DP. I don't know what DP stands for, but it's basically their cash shop currency. I wasn't even thinking about that till you started. Yeah.
Like a menage a trois there. A menage a four of, anyways.
Yeah. So they've got a double DP event going on that is letting you buy. So the Book of Ascension, I think by itself is like normally like $15 or whatever, but you buy that Book of Ascension, you never have to visit your trainer for abilities. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you can just pull it out. It's a pet you can just summon and
Pull it out.
Yeah. Some people have made like yeah, I get it. I get it. You can just pull out your book.
Yeah.
And it'll teach you new abilities.
All right. Yeah. But as what were we saying? Oh yeah, so they are. If we don't like what they put out, we could just say, hey, we don't like it. We'll talk crap about them because this is for pay. And this is the perfect time, by the way, absolute perfect time, because Blizzard has committed seppuku, non-honorable seppuku. They are basically imploding. They're killing themselves. So hey, they've got to have some of those hardcore WoW fans have to go somewhere. Why not go to WoW? As I mentioned the gospel, I said we got to come up with a video about the Ascension and the COA, like titled because we've all been talking about the WoW killer. Which game's going to be the WoW killer? Well, WoW.
Yeah.
WoW kills themselves, and WoW takes over. And
Yeah.
here's why.
Yeah, exactly. WoW has killed itself. But I remember whenever Classic first released, there was a lot of talk of like a Classic Plus server. And there are, I think there's definitely like a market for that, right? So like Classic Plus would be like the plus being changes to vanilla WoW that were never in the original World of Warcraft. And I was one of those that were hopeful for a Classic Plus server because I actually had no interest in playing Classic. I pretty much all of my online friends and even some of my real life friends begged me to play Classic with them, and I tried, but I just couldn't do it. I was just like, I got to like level 13 on Warlock or something, and I was like, okay, I'm done. Like,
They begged me.
yeah, they were literally begging me. Like one of my friends, he messages me at least once or twice a month saying, "Hey, come play Classic with us." And
I played Classic last year, and it's just I've played so much WoW. I tapped out after Lich King, and at that point, just playing it again, I couldn't do it. I got to like 40 or something, and then I died a couple times to Murlocs, and I rage quit. Like the sound of Murlocs will make it rage quit. If you die to Murlocs with their aggro and crap, just forget it.
yeah.
Getting totally just camped in Goldshire, like nah, I'm all right without it. But
Yeah.
how far did that get? Do you know offhand? Did they go into like Burning Crusade yet?
Yes. So World of Warcraft did officially enter the Burning Crusade, and I'm guessing they're gonna do Wrath of the Lich King, which I might actually play Wrath. I heard a lot of good things about Wrath. I've heard how it's the best
great.
expansion for years. So I might actually play Wrath. But the other thing they're doing is they're doing Classic Fresh now. So basically, they're doing
Shaving the sides of their heads and giving the big old pomp. Yeah.
yeah, they're doing
Fresh.
they're doing Classic Fresh, and Classic Fresh is literally just Classic all over again. So now you're either in WoW Classic or Classic Fresh. So it's like a brand new set of servers. I guess like I've paid attention to the WoW private server community for a while, but I'd never usually participate until Ascension. Ascension is pretty much the only WoW private server I've really played. There's always like a brand new Classic server, like a vanilla WoW server coming up. And people love that stuff. And I guess Blizzard is like trying to tap into that. And who knows how it's going to go for them. But Blizzard itself is getting blasted for having cubicle crawls and shredding important HR documents. So
Cubicle crawls. I love it.
Yeah.
How does kingdoms always get overrun? The kings always get overrun, not from the outside. They get undermined from within, and that's what's happening with Blizzard. That's what's happening with WoW. Leadership stopped really caring about the game. Stopped really caring about the gaming. Started caring more about the money. They lost a lot of their good devs. Crawling, as Gospel said, and then these other servers just started coming in and worming their way up out of the grounds, and bye, and I'm okay with it. Like literally, I'm tired. I'm tired of WoW, and I'm sorry for it, but I'm okay. I want to see some. I want to see some new power.
yeah.
I want to see some new power out there, and so. If you don't mind, I would like to talk about something else that's powerful.
Yes.
Powerful MMO game. Albion Online. If you like MMOs, if you like sandbox MMOs, then you like Albion Online, the first true cross-platform MMO. It offers intense PvP. I don't know. That's did I damage you at all with that? No, okay. Territory claims, unique PvE experiences for the wussies who don't like PvP. Albion Online. Play for free, We at albiononline.com. Albion Online. Tell your story. You wussies.
Yeah, Albion's another game I'm looking forward to playing when they get another big content update. Actually,
Oh, we play all the time. What are you talking about?
yeah. Well, I play off and on, but they like actually tease like a new weapon and stuff, and so I might actually do that. And then they also increased like, I don't know how to really say it, but like you basically rank up your weapons and like it's your skill with those weapons. And if your weapon is capped, there's no more, you can't get any better with that weapon. And so they're going to be apparently increasing that cap. And it looks like it might have some interesting effects. So I kind of want to see what that's about. But anyways.
Well, I have a question to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
So, AMK,
Yes.
the dude pretty much owns the chat
Yes.
all the time. Why is he in the chat? This guy should like be on the show.
Oh,
Like-
you want to have AMK on the show? AMK, do you want to be on the show, dude?
I've had him on my past show before, and he was good. Like he was good. So we need to have him on at least one time. You good?
Yeah.
Hey AMK, I would say subscribe for yes and don't do nothing for no, but you already subscribed. So
When did you have AMK on?
Yeah. Oh, so I used to do another Star Wars Galaxy show before you.
Mm-hmm.
With Lavaris.
Mm-hmm.
And the reviews were not well.
Oh. Weird.
Reviews were not well. And it actually we had hey, drama's good. We'll just say that. So drama is good, although people didn't really care for the way the drama was pushed out. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, and so we had AMK on for one of those shows. So
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if he's still listening. Maybe he's like listening on his phone. Oh no, he doesn't even show up in the chat. I'll have to message him. Hey
He might
man,
have.
want to be on the show? He owned the chat and he came back out. He's like, yo, I gotta go. Maybe something came up. I don't know. I know he's working a lot of hours right now. So,
real quick, I want to talk about. I know we're jumping around a little bit here, but I want to thank everybody who came out to Most Weird in Restoration 3, Star Wars Galaxies. It was we did a PvP thing, and I gotta say, this reminded me of old PvP in the streets, PvP in the cities. It was awesome. The shuttle you just kept seeing people like coming in, and everyone was just looking at each other. You know, kind of like the greasers and the socias, just like waiting for the fight to start. And next thing you know, one person went red, and then the cobwebs went. It was an hour of waves going back and forth of PvP. Well represented by all of the top guilds. Some really great PvP and some really crappy PvP.
all right.
Yeah, but all so fun. It got me so nostalgic, man. Just watching everybody just sitting down, like bidding on each other, just talking. You know how it is, just waiting for that red to drop, and then it happens, and then nonstop. Awesome time. So we need more of that. There was like 30 people out there, and so
Yeah.
and if I tell you like next week, I'll say it was like 40. So
Yeah. I mean, maybe we should have an event. Maybe we should like advertise a big old resto event, see how many people we can get.
That was great because like I didn't even advertise it. I just I went into Resto and said, "Hey, we're gonna do a quick PvP thing." I thought maybe we'd get a couple people just to come view, and like that, man, people just started coming. Resto 3 Discord is ridiculously active, and so people are just waiting for something to happen, and that gives me good hope for the future of Restoration. I'm telling you, man, people are just waiting for something exciting, and that's gonna be a powder keg just exploding. And I'm excited for that, for the future of Restoration 3 and Star Wars Galaxies in general.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as like in my opinion, as soon as Mustafar and Jedi come out, bam, it's gonna explode. And I think
We'll
we're
make that sound too. Bam!
bam, you know,
Bam!
yeah, it's gonna explode with content. And I mean, those things are really like the longevity of Jedi, you know what I mean, like is really good. So you need those long grind kind of systems that to make it really good. And it'll be really interesting considering that they'll have the blue glowy and all that stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that.
When Witches of Dathomir comes out, we'll be covering it. When Mustafar comes out, Gospel and myself at Weird Gaming Adventure will be covering it. Again, Gospel is now a member of the Weird Gaming Adventure content creator team. So a lot of people are asking me like, hey, did Gospel get banned?
Why are they asking you? Have you looked at my channel?
Like they say the Gospel because like he's like why is he doing content? Like no, he's doing content. So if you guys want to see his content, R3, we've been talking about the WoW stuff, daily content, twice daily content. Run on over to Weird Gaming Adventure and subscribe and share with everybody. Let everybody know. Because Gospel of 280 pounds, he needs to eat, and Gospels aren't cheap. So, subscribe to our YouTube channel and help us eat. Give the man a Subway.
Yeah. So. Well, I'm not trying to eat Subway. I've actually been eating like a steak every day. Like
yeah,
so
that's expensive.
Well. Not where I'm at. It goes on sale. You know, every week, like $5 a pound. So I'll eat like a pound of steak just about every day.
Well, hey, you can be having filet mignon real soon if you keep dropping like videos that are hitting 2,000 views a day, like you have been since you joined.
Oh yeah,
so, thank you. By the way,
you're welcome. Happy to do it. It's fun. Like
get paid, brother. Tell me something else. Tell me something else. MMO. This has gone a lot faster than I expected this round.
Yeah. So, New World Open Beta started today. I was gonna play it, but due to discovering Conquest of Azeroth, that plan has definitely changed for me because I'm enjoying Conquest of Azeroth a lot, and I know that the PvP there is going to be like insane. So I'm doing that, but I am looking forward to seeing what changes they made in this beta, and my prediction is that that they didn't make very meaningful changes, and that they're gonna have to delay again. That's my prediction right now.
You think they're gonna delay again?
I think they have to, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because see, like, what happened is, like, New World had this direction when they first developed it of being like, have you played Rust before? Or you ever heard of Rust?
I've heard of it. I've not played it.
Okay, so Rust is basically like this open world PvP game. It's an FPS shooter, but you start off with a rock, and you bang trees with the rock, and then you bang rocks with rocks, and then you start building stuff, and then eventually your technology upgrades. Like you'll be able to craft guns and gunpowder and shells to craft bullets with, and you'll just be able to craft everything under the sun, basically.
Caveman. Start from
Yeah.
Caveman. Go to Alien.
Yeah.
Like Star Trek crap. Okay.
Yeah, but they have this the game being Rust. They have like this.
F you up.
Yeah, they have this really like big emphasis on everything looking like scrapped together. You know what I mean? So like AKs look like they're built of like I don't know, like part of a dumpster or something like that. So that's kind of where they were going with New World, is that they are making like this open world PvP game where you can attack everyone at any time, the same as in Rust, except in Rust it's like way worse because they have player housing in Rust. But someone can come to your house and just like blow holes in it and take your stuff. So,
whoa.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that's.
If you want to see me cry, you break into my house. Like,
Well, hopefully you meet them just like everybody else meets them in Rust, with a gun pointed at them. Anyways, so that's kind of what New World was going for, is this open world PvP game. And then last year, before their first delay, they announced, hey, we're going to do more PvE content, and we're going to tone down the PvP quite a bit. And everyone is like, what? Why would you do that? That sounds insane. You don't have any PvE content. They didn't really have much PvE content. And those games kind of follow that. Sandbox PvP games generally do not have very good PvE content. SWG being one. Albion used to not really. They've gotten better over time, but it's still not like all that amazing.
It's amazing. It's amazing, guys. Albion Online. Tell your story.
Yeah.
Sponsored.
And so the focus of those games is PvP, right? Like Dark Age of Camelot, stuff like that. Well, so they're like, okay, so we're just gonna, start going towards PvE, and me and several other people, it didn't take like a huge, you didn't have to use your brain all that hard to figure out. They're gonna have to delay if they want to launch with that kind of intent. So they ended up delaying, and they delayed till August this year. And then they held a test, and it didn't work out as well. I think they had like a closed alpha or something like that. People got in. That didn't go well, so they delayed it till September. And them delaying till September, the open beta is today. I'm sure people on Twitch are streaming it. I haven't actually looked. Yeah, it's an open beta, and everyone, you don't even have to purchase the game to get in. If they didn't make the meaningful changes they really needed to, then I could see them delaying the game again, because one of the biggest criticisms for New World was that the dungeons are boring, they're not very interesting, and there's very limited dungeons. Now, it's Amazon, it's $1 trillion company. I believe they can churn out content no problem, but they still need development time for that, right?
Can they? I mean, because right now they're already 0 for 3. And the last thing that Amazon needs is to come out with their biggest game. They've already canceled Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
They've closed 2 games that they've launched. This is their big boy. If they don't come out and rock and roll from the beginning, then they've shot themselves in the foot, like before they've even started. I mean, look at Amazon can recoup. They could come back and they can make the game pretty good, but they need to make it very good from the beginning.
Yes,
there's no rope left. They're gonna hang themselves.
Yeah.
And so, I agree. Better be good.
Yeah. So so the reviews from a lot of the people I tend to watch, like Fextra Life, for example, covers a lot of RPGs and MMOs and stuff. Mm-hmm. I maybe scathing is over dramatic, but for me to watch Fextra Life give a bad review of that Amazon MMO, New World, was not good. Had some pretty harsh criticisms. Not harsh as in their criticism was harsh, but it's like, this is a severe problem. This needs to be fixed,
Well, and more so than any MMOs I've noticed, and I follow trends. It's what I do. I mean, I'm in marketing, like by trade. That's what I love, and so I check the trends for YouTube when it comes to all this. So if you make an anti-New World video, you are golden. I mean, it will get picked up. It will explode, like no matter what. So more than any MMO, it's popular to crap on New World. So
really?
I didn't see his allegedly scathing report or negative report at all. But I naturally want to take anything that content creators say negative about New World with a grain of salt, unless I'm saying it.
Right.
Because,
wow, that is really interesting.
Oh yeah. New World is absolutely hated in the MMO community. There's so much of a divide, more than anything that I've ever seen. Absolutely can do no wrong, or absolutely hate it.
It's the Trump of the gaming world. Yeah, it comes from a $1 billion company.
Of course.
$1 trillion, actually.
Hey, Exactly, and that's
Yeah.
probably the reason why there's some strife and jealousy. Like if you can't get it right, you know, if you're putting all of this marketing funds, you're putting a crap load of money in the kitty, if you will, and if you're not winning your hands, then you just look like a fool.
Yeah, for the record, a lot of my criticisms of New World are based off my own personal experience. Not the dungeon
Well,
one because I haven't played that.
right.
But yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and to be honest, like I'm not taking into consideration you or I. We are both sub 2,000 subscribers on our channel. We're talking about the people who the trends follow. You know what I mean?
yeah,
If they say something, then that becomes the norm and the opinion. Tolagarf, appreciate the comment here. He says something pretty smart. There are
yeah.
several YouTubers with who only focus on the negative sides of games with clickbait titles, etc. They have no real content on their channel except that. But I bet it pays
Money.
$sign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? I bet he's absolutely correct. I know that's true for sure. And you know, one of the things that I remember was going around, I want to say like almost 10 years ago, on Facebook was that they were finding in research studies that things that induce rage in the news tend to like spread quicker. And then we had this, people get outraged about something they share, and they're more passionate about. It's easier to hate something to become hated than it is to be loved. I think it requires
We both have psychology backgrounds. I mean, that's the way that we're programmed.
Yeah.
It's the way we're programmed right now.
It requires like integrity and discipline to really become loved. Whereas being hated is very easy because anybody can promise you the world and then just not deliver. You know what I mean?
Every politician ever.
Yeah, exactly. And so the issue is like now we have social media being driven by clicks. So whenever they are going to spark outrage about something, it can really, really hurt that thing, especially if the outrage is not justified. Now, sometimes outrage is justified, but if you can just create a problem out of nothing, you can get more clicks.
And velocity is always it's the powder before the keg too. And you need to get that powder lit as fast as possible. And with social media, everybody being so quick to have the outrage, so quick to have the negativity first, so quick to put it on Twitter, YouTube, and we're getting paid for that. I mean,
Yeah.
who cares about the real story?
Yeah.
The real story is whatever dollar sign that we're cashing when we go to the bank. So
Yeah.
talking of New World, the thing that I was mostly excited about New World is I was tired of MMOs with all sorts of different types of races and everything. I was super excited about it being a primary human class or human game. That was super excited. Opeth 88, I'm glad you finally found us, buddy.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we were going to transition. I was thinking about that on our way over. Congratulations on finding R3, Opeth. But we were talking before where we always do a top 5.
Mm-hmm.
And Gospel says, well, let's talk about our top 5 favorite races. I'm like, races? I'm not fast anymore. He says, no, like orcs and goblins and wieners and stuff like that. and like I'm like, well, how about we just do 3? So we're gonna do 3 of that, and then we're gonna do what was the other one? 5 of what?
Top 5 retro games.
Top 5 retro games. Opeth 88, before we do that, I'm so glad that you found R3, and I'm so glad that you found our chat or our little stream going on here. Make sure that you play not Melee.
Melee
First
might be
time firing
viable.
up R3.
I was thinking about making a video about how to make Melee viable.
Follow Weird Gaming Adventure for Gospel's new video coming
Whoa!
up to making This guy.
5 gifted subs. Wow, dude. Thank you, Opeth. I appreciate that, man. Wow. Wow, dude.
Wow. Did we just become best friends?
Thank you, Opeth. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you, man. That's crazy.
Okay, so Opeth, since you just gifted everybody a sub here, we want to know your favorite class, your favorite race. Gospel, you go first.
Okay, my favorite, my third, probably trolls from World of Warcraft. That would be my third favorite. They've got that like really cool, like, hey man, what is it? How is it going? You know, like that whole voice thing. I like that.
Smoking Rastafari. Just super cool, hanging out in the Stranglethorn.
Yeah, they seem to have a really cool culture surrounding that. At the same time, like later WoW has retailed them to like they have that culture, but then they like their aesthetics are like Aztec. So it's been wild. What a crazy race, but it's like a really fun race. You know what I mean? So I always like if I had to be like reincarnated in World of Warcraft, I'd probably pick Troll.
Oh, but it's your third race.
It is, but because my other 2 races aren't in World of Warcraft. Well, yeah, okay. I can't choose human. It's too lame.
Okay, well, I will.
I know. That's why I said that.
I know you said that's why you said that. So yeah, human guys, humanoids, in everything. Gotta go human. There you go. Here, you went first. I'll go number 2. My number 2 is undead.
Oh,
undead humans.
Undead humans. There you go. Easy. So your number 1 is humans, and your second is undead humans.
Is undead humans.
All right.
Yeah.
My second.
I hate orcs.
True. My second would probably be Bothans from Star Wars.
Yeah. Bothans.
Yeah. Dude, they are tiny, but they're really, really cool. So, you know, they're spies. They're like natural rogues in World of Warcraft, right? Like they have stealth innately almost. They're supposed to be like really good spies. That's probably because they're the size of children and get into small crevices.
Well, let me say, I'll say this, and I'm having crazy internet issues here, lag, so I'm barely even seeing my screen. So if I'm in, I'm in. But hardly an advertisement for the value of Bothans if many Bothans died in the making of Star Wars. Also, Star Wars Galaxies, they're like the worst patrols ever. They are so stupid. And have you ever seen them without another Bothan or Bothan? They're just hanging out by themselves. It's they're bad. They're bad. And they're ugly. They're like 2-legged dogs.
Apparently in the lore, they're like really political minded and they're very deceitful, and basically like every Bothan is like a politician, like trying to up their image and status in life. It's very weird.
Very weird. Tolagarf or Opeth. We want your favorite races of any MMOs, any game. So throw it out there in the chat.
Can also be literature and movies.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I went. You went first. I did my first and second. So now you go again.
Okay. So my absolute number 1 favorite is elves from Lord of the Rings. They live forever. They're super wise. What's not to like?
Legolas. I don't like him.
You don't like Legolas, dude?
No, I don't like Legolas.
Are you more of a Gimli guy?
No, definitely not a dwarf.
You're more of an Aragorn type of dude.
Yes. I don't want to be like I hate all of these. Like I'm not trying to destroy One Ring like rules everything but humans, but I guess I just got tired of the fantasy thing. That's why I was excited about New World.
Yeah.
And so Opeth chooses Krogans from Mass Effect. Good choice. Like it. And Predators from movies. I think they count.
Oh, dude, Predators totally count. There's a whole game now Predators got. I forget what it's called. But Predator, there's a Predator game where it's like they call it asymmetrical, like shooter, and basically there's like 4 humans versus one they're all players versus one Predator. And the Predator gets to jump around and go in stealth, and the humans have to work together to hunt down that other player. It's a pretty cool idea.
Oh, that sounds cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I like that. I like that. Kind of like the Predator world or something with like Adrian Brody or whatever. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, my last one. I'm gonna choose gnomes.
Gnomes. You actually like gnomes.
Yes, because they're so irritating. Yeah, my favorite character that I ever created in World of Warcraft was gnomes. They're so small. They're just so small, and on the battlefield, it's like they're just jumping around. I named my first one You Don't Know Me, and my second one John Wayne Namit. Instead of John Wayne or John Wayne Hobbit, and John Wayne Nobbit was my was 2 of my tunes. But yeah,
that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, Tinkertown's pretty cool too, or whatever that place is called.
Yeah, that's funny, dude. I'm actually surprised to hear your third is a gnome. You like humans, and you just go to this ugly little short people.
Yeah, I like irritating people on the battlefield.
That's good, dude. I think gnome is one of the best vanilla races. I think actually for WoW.
Yeah. All right. So you introduced the next one.
Okay. So the next top 5 is top 5 favorite retro games.
Okay.
What do we want to label retro as? Before the year 2010?
No, that is not a retro game.
Before
retro
2010?
We're talking like pre 90s is considered retro.
Oh my gosh, dude! No.
So you're just saying like, okay, let's best games pre 2010.
No, I mean, think about it. It's been 11 years, almost 12.
Okay, if you're collecting retro, or if you're Googling retro, if you click retro, you're gonna pull up like a freaking
Let me Google
Tetris and Zelda.
Retro.
And that kind of stuff. Yeah, Metroid.
Retro games. Let's see if
you're gonna change the rules about it then, like pre 2010 games.
Well, I was thinking 90s 2000, before 2010. That's what I was really thinking. Because, dude, you got to understand, in internet years, we're boomers.
Not me.
You're older than I am.
Like, so I've almost got 10 years on you.
Almost. You're how old? 38?
39.
39.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I turned 31 this year, so.
Okay.
But
okay. So let's make the rules here for everyone who's listening. I'll be the arbitrator, I guess, between the both of us. I will be the arbitrator between us. Let's go 2000.
All right. Before 2000?
Yeah, before 2000.
Okay. I can do that. And
I'll try to choose popular games and not adventure games. Everyone's like, oh, just turn off now. You go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 5. Whew. Oh, man, this is a difficult one. This is a game I really enjoyed was Banjo Kazooie. You ever played Banjo Kazooie?
No.
Okay. So you played Mario 64 though.
Yes.
Okay, so it's in the same vein as Mario 64, as that it's a 3D platformer, but they used a lot of potty humor in the game. A lot of potty humor, and it was very silly, extremely fun. Basically, you were playing as this bear, and he was Banjo, and Kazooie was this bird in his backpack, and you would have special abilities depending on Banjo using them or Kazooie using them, but you are always playing as both of them at the same time. They actually made a second game called Banjo Tooie, and that was good as well. But they had like this arch nemesis who was this like really ugly fat witch who was trying to like, I guess, like siphon the youth out of Banjo's sister. And if you die in the game, it actually shows a cutscene of Banjo's sister getting the youth sucked out of her, and the fat ugly witch becomes like this hot, like sleek, slender witch, and it's so funny. Like there's just so much potty humor in the game. It's just hilarious.
You resurrect and you like want to make out with her.
Yeah. So
you killed my sister, but man.
yeah, exactly. So that game is definitely on my top 5 for sure. Like that was a very fun game as a kid. Came out in the 90s sometime.
Okay, Opeth 88 goes GoldenEye, Star Wars Rogue Squadron, Star Wars Shadow of the Empire, Unreal Tournament. I am going to go with Unreal Tournament as my number 5 on that. I have such great memories of Unreal Tournament, having tournaments in mine and my friend's house. We get like 8 of our guys with our computers together, and we'd say we'd find different types of curse words that we would make up when we die. Yeah, that was the first game that I remember. You didn't just have to kill them; you can use the environment to kill your opponent. Like you shoot like a thing in the wall, and then a trapdoor would come out from underneath where the person was standing. And yeah, you don't just stand still in that game.
Yeah. The Unreal Tournament, yeah, that's definitely a classic. I actually watched a retro review of that recently. There's a guy on YouTube named G-Man Lives, and he makes like reviews of FPS games, but Unreal Tournament is one he went over. Number 4 for me would be, oh man, there's so many good ones to choose. Street Fighter 2. I really love, that was like my introduction to fighting games, sort of. And go ahead.
Let me ask you a question here. Street Fighter 2, are we talking Turbo? Because Street Fighter 2 is just a side scroller game from
no, it's
like
not.
1986. Now then Street Fighter 2 Turbo, or Street Fighter 2 is like an actual back and forth Hadouken fighting game.
Oh really? Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I guess Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Picking Blanca. He was like my favorite character as a kid. I just, yeah, dude.
You can just spam the one thing. Lightning, I'm doing a special move.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I didn't know.
Here's my shoes.
I just didn't know like inputs or anything, so I just button mashed because it was like a dumb kid, and yeah. That Street Fighter 2 was a lot of fun, and it inspired me to play other fighting games later in life. Like I ended up buying like Street Fighter 4 and all the DLC, and I ended up buying Street Fighter 5 and a lot of that. Then I got into like Guilty Gear and all this other stuff. So yeah, that was a pretty influential game for me.
If you were button mashing, you were either going to get your controller pulled out of your hand from me, or I was going to punch you in the ear.
Really?
Like, yes, I was that guy. Like if you're gonna bring something to the table, you're not gonna play. Do not button mash. That's like the getting grumpy with Odd Job, like in GoldenEye, like type of thing.
Oh yeah.
Now my character was definitely Ken. Was definitely Ken. Okay, well I'm gonna go with that, but I'm gonna go with Street Fighter versus Capcom. It was a Street Fighter, but it just brought up much more 3 dimensions. You can jump off the screens, you can call in other players, and like you said, now it's just everywhere.
Wait, is there an actual Street Fighter versus Capcom game, or did you mean Capcom versus Marvel?
Marvel versus Capcom.
Marvel versus Capcom.
It was Street Fighter versus Capcom, and then it became Marvel. Capcom versus
because Street Fighter is Capcom.
Yeah, that's what I'm fixing that in my head now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're thinking of Marvel versus Capcom?
It started off with Street Fighter, and then they added like a few Marvel characters in there, like Spider-Man and all of that, and then it became like a whole Marvel versus Marvel type of thing.
That game is a huge classic, Marvel versus Capcom. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is actually, there's a campaign on like YouTube by content creators who are in the fighting game community, which is hashtag free Marvel or free MVC, I think, because it's Marvel vs. Capcom. And basically, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, they want it re-released because it's considered one of the best fighting games of all time.
Yeah, I was the hero at the arcade.
Oh, for real? You were your local's best player.
Oh yeah, I mean, if anybody asked, that's what I would tell them. And I was the kid that literally had like blisters on his finger from, once you activate like you send everybody out, you have to just click. Oh man.
Oh
yeah.
man.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And yeah, Duke Nukem Gold 2 was good according to Opeth. And he also said Mortal Kombat 2. I'm gonna have to X-nay you on that one. I disagree on Mortal Kombat 2.
That was the other one I was going to put in my top list is Mortal Kombat. That's my next one, actually.
I got vetoed then.
Because because these are my favorite retro games. These are the games that I remember playing with my friends and just having an absolute blast with, back in the day. And I enjoyed playing Mortal Kombat, Sub-Zero specifically. Sub-Zero is awesome. And also, it was just a great game. Just a lot of fun. I don't have much to add because I'm not a huge Mortal Kombat fan these days, but back in the day, I had a lot of fun. It was very unique and interesting.
It was a little too blocky. A little
Yeah.
too slow. A little too slow for my taste. Street Fighter Turbo was so much faster, and I was definitely on the Street Fighter side of the fence. Okay. I am going to go with Legend of Zelda. Gold cartridge. We're talking 1986 or 1987. I must have played that game until like 1988 or 1998. I played that so many times as a kid to a teenager and all of that.
The original?
The original.
Not
yes.
A Link to the Past.
No. The original. Every screen had some sort of secret passage in it, and you could play it all the different ways. And yeah. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Here's my socks. Do you like my socks?
Yeah, you actually have nice socks.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I guess my third would be, I was going to actually throw in there, is Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Did you ever play that one?
On, what do you call it? Was it DS?
No. They did remake it for 3DS. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they that one was like a controversial release. For some reason, there was a lot of controversy. They had this like whole to save, you have to go back in time mechanic, and that got pretty frustrating. But the whole game was like really dark, and I really liked the character design of like the Skull Kid with the Majora mask and the final boss, and like the creepiness of it. Like for some reason, I will say this: it was a weird time in my life because like when I first played it, I was like 9 years old. My grandmother just died, and I was like, I loved my grandmother. And so I was just like crying constantly, just thinking about her death for like 2 weeks. But I would stop crying if I started playing that game. So I played the crap out of that game for like 2 whole weeks. I beat everything. I was just like no-lifed it as a 9-year-old. It was very strange. But no, I really did enjoy the game. So that one's like sentimental to me in a weird way.
Games are legitimate medicine. We are in a world now where some people would go and hide in books, some people would go hide in drugs, some people would hide in food. Now games are something that you can just tap out for a little bit, and I'm glad that helped you.
Yeah.
Okay. What am I? 2 or 1?
I think you did 3 already.
Okay, so
or 4. I don't know.
We live in a society. We live in a society.
Yeah, we do live in a society. Double Dose 42 says, I love drugs.
All right, 1 minute or 1 hour, 3 minutes in. When I put this on my YouTube channel, I will cut that out. or else we won't be able to put that on.
Oh, okay. All right.
Medicine.
I love medicine. Like ibuprofen really helps when I have a headache, stuff like that.
Right. That's funny.
The name plus the statement, too perfect. You're built for it.
What year did Return to Castle Wolfenstein come out? I'm pretty sure it was in the 2000 era, but I'm gonna go with Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Change my own rules.
Let me
play that.
No, I actually played none of the. Yeah, that's a 2001 game.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on the border.
You're on the border. We can count it. Yeah.
That was so much fun, dude. That was so much fun. Action meets storytelling.
I never actually played it.
We won't talk about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never played any of the Wolfenstein games. They're up there. A lot of people that I watch reviewers of like retro games and stuff, and a lot of people put Wolfenstein up there with like Doom and like Unreal Tournament and Quake and stuff like that. So
let me give you a dramatization of Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Hold on.
All right, dude.
Since you haven't played it, this is a real life playing.
All right.
Demon, German orc. Hiding in the trenches, getting out, people speaking German. That's how I learned my German, all the curse words. And,
true.
Yeah. No. Good stuff.
That is good stuff.
Killing of Germans. They were Nazis, though, so it's okay.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Let's see, I did 3 already, so I'll do my 4th. Or actually, I did 4 already, actually. So this is my 5th. This is my number 1, I guess.
Number 1.
Number 1. Star Wars Galaxies. I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding, for sure. Oh, man. Opeth actually named some of my favorites, like GoldenEye, Rogue Squadron, Empire, Shadow of the Empire.
So many times.
Yeah. Something new. Yeah, let's think. There was a lot. God, I played so many kids as a game. Jet Force Gemini. Super weird.
Kid.
Super weird pick, but Jet Force Gemini, I loved that game as a kid. It was so action-packed, it felt like. It was like one of the most action-packed games I played. It was a third-person shooter where you were like these kids and this dog. You could pick like the male, the female, or the dog, and they had different abilities and different weapons and stuff. And basically you were on this like planet killing bug people to save these furry bear people. And it was very...
I love bear people.
Yeah. So you were killing bugs to save bears. And it got very intense as a game. And it was, honestly, for a 90s game, pretty bloody. like
some eviscerations in there?
Yeah, like you would like behead the bugs and their heads would roll on the ground and stuff. Like it was wild the things they did with that game. So I actually really enjoyed that. I played it a lot as a kid. It was very fun.
Yeah, Flipper from Garbage Brains chat comment there. You'd behead Flipper's head too.
Yeah.
That's the rumor that we have perpetuated here on Weird Gaming Adventure Gospel Pod.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, my last one. I'm gonna go Wing Commander 4, all the Monkey Island games, all the King's Quest games. I can't choose. Like, come on.
You're an adventure gamer to the core.
No.
Yeah. What is it about the adventure games that really gets you? Like that really sucks you in?
It's the nostalgia. Honestly, if I went back, and in fact I made a video about this today, some of these games that I went back and played as an adult, it doesn't keep my interest. But as a child, it was just something. I was I liked reading, I liked learning, and like I couldn't really learn and like cultivate my brain or something in other style action games or something, and this just really putting puzzles together and talking and investigating in a game is something that I do believe helped me a lot as an adult, and so
Oh, okay.
Installed it. Mhm.
That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to try an adventure game sometime. Like I've never played one.
I actually have something to talk to you about for our channel.
Oh, okay,
I'll
cool,
talk to you about that later on.
cool.
Gospel plays an adventure game for the first time.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Well, it's been over an hour. It's I'm thinking it's time we wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Unless you have anything you want to say.
What I want to say is thank you, Opeth88, for making it for the first time on
Yes.
this live show, and for the massive amount of subscriptions to the channel.
Yes,
I said,
thank you.
Gospel needs to get some stake in him.
6 subs. We appreciate it, man.
Make sure that you go and sub on our YouTube channel as well. Weird and Gaming Adventure. Once again, the dude's putting out crap load of content daily.
Yeah.
Content for WGA now, and so go check us all out there.
Yep.
And Gospel, you look very slim in that black shirt.
Thanks,
You don't look a
man.
pound over 280.
All right, thank you. Oh, Double Dose also subscribed with the Prime subscription. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank
Help
you very
this man
much.
out. Double
Dude,
dose. Give us a double dose.
I'm gonna
shout.
be good tonight, dude. I only caught the end, but I'm sure it will be on YouTube. Yes, it will be on YouTube.
Yeah, I usually put it out on my channel around.
Saturday morning.
Yeah. I don't
Usually?
like to actually give a specific.
Oh, okay.
When it comes out, it'll be out, but it'll definitely be out before Saturday afternoon.
Okay, gotcha. All right, well, thank you, everybody. We appreciate you all, and we will see you next time, next week.
Graduated.
Same weird gaming gospel time, same weird gaming gospel place. Twitch.tv/gospel, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. We'll catch y'all later. Peace.